Good morning, world. I am Judy, your web based therapist, making therapy accessible and convenient for our clients in Florida and New York, and of course, sharing information worldwide. Today, I'd like to take a moment to talk about 5 tips for dealing with microaggressions. Many people are familiar with the overt racism or those really open racist things that people say, but another level of things that we experience in the workforce and in society overall is the microaggressions that happen every on a regular basis. Those are things like somebody deciding to call you the black girl as opposed to the equal the professional, the adult professional who's equal to them or maybe even superior to them in the workforce, or someone deciding that your name is too complicated or your name is too ethnic, so they'd like to call you something else that is easier for them. Those little types of things that are said in, as a joke or lightly, but are offensive. So today I want to talk about 5 tips for dealing with them. But before we get into it, I want to take a quick second and say, if you are subscribed, thank you so much for being a subscriber. If you are not yet subscribed, please take a moment and click the subscribe button and, come be part of our world. And of course, if you'd like to purchase 1 or 3 of my books, there's also a link below that will take you to a website where you can purchase 1 or 3 of my books. Okay, let's get back to work. First, yes, yes, that just happened. It did happen. It's not just in your head. Yes, it really did happen to you. Yes, that person did just say that. That person did just do that. When we experience microaggressions, a lot of times people spend that. We're a little bit confused because sometimes we wonder, did that really just happen? We spend so much time trying to figure out that what just happened that we don't even have time, or we miss the opportunity to address it. So don't spend as much time trying to figure out if or what just happened. Just understand that yes, it did happen, and we can move forward from there. It's not just in your head. Yes, it happened. 2, keep your cool. Those same people who like to inflict those microaggressions, they love to play victim. They love nothing more than to just start crying. Yes, they're really quick with the waterworks too. Start crying because you yelled at them, you offended them, you hurt their feelings. And now you go from they just did something to you, but now you're being told, "Yeah, can you apologize to her?" So make sure you keep your cool. When you keep your cool, you're in a better position to address the situation. You're in a better position to do and make those level headed decisions when addressing the situation. Keep your cool, because if you don't do that, they can bait you into something that will be worse for you than them, even though they were the aggressor. But next thing you know, you end up being the aggressor. You end up being the one that has to have coaching or supervision or have something addressed with you, as opposed to, yeah, this person just totally ignored, offended, disrespected, or whatever they did to you. 3, address the issue promptly, directly, and factually. Sometimes when these things happen, people have a tendency to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to let this one go. And then thinking that maybe it won't happen again, or if it happens again, I'll address it. No. If it happened once and you let it happen once, it's going to happen again. So address it the first time. Don't wait until the next time. Don't wait until it becomes a pattern. Because if you let it become a pattern, that makes it even more difficult to address it, because now it's almost like double dutch. You got to wait for, okay, when is the right time to jump in? When is the right space to address it the first time? That is the right time. That is the right space to address it. So address it right then and there, the very first time it happens. Address it directly. Talk to the person. State exactly what it is that you experienced. State what they did. Stick with the facts. You don't have to get personal. You always do this. You always No. If the person is calling you at your name, address the fact that this person is calling you something other than your name. If the person is doing something, or maybe they are going to your boss when they need to, for something that, or your supervisor for something that needs to be addressed with you. So instead of waiting till the next time they do it, talk about, hey, this is so, that's going to be the next one, where I talk about documentation. Reach out and say, hey, this should be dealt with me, and I need it to be dealt. This is this whatever the situation is. Address it directly. and stick with the facts. Hey, this should not be done with my supervisor. This should be directed to me. My name is not whatever it is. My name is not whatever shorter name you want to call me. My name is this. Um, for instance, my last name Saneas. A lot of times people ask me, "Oh, yeah, can I just say Sanice?" No, it's not Sanice. It's Saneas. People can say it. They just don't feel like putting the investing the effort. So things like your name, if someone wants to call you something shorter, something easier, no. If you like your name, you want to use your name, use your name. It's not your responsibility to change your name to make them more comfortable. No. So just things like that. Address it directly, factually, and promptly, right then and there. Or document. Document everything. Again, the same people who are inflicting these microaggressions, they're the type of people that when something happened, they will send an email crying and showing and discussing how all these things you did that hurt their feeling and how you're, making life at work so hard for them by standing up to them. And they'll CC the world. So when it's your turn, when things are happening to you, make sure that you're documenting them. That means that you're addressing things in emails. And when you email, don't just email the person directly. Email everyone else who is relevant. So if it is an issue that someone is going to your boss instead of going to you, don't just don't just email them or have a conversation with them. Reach out and send a nice personal, nice professional email to them and CC your supervisor in there saying, "Hey, I noticed that you always go to my supervisor. I'm the one who handles this. So can you please those little things, because when you create that track record of, yeah, I notice what you're doing, but you also address that you are also addressing it in a way that is, professional and does not hurt or offend people. So make sure that you're documenting everything and CC everyone that is relevant. When these people have stuff that when they want to get you, they CC everyone from the janitor to the CEO. So when it's your turn, when you have to document things, make sure that you're CCing everyone, because you want to create that trail of, hey, these are the little microaggressions I've been dealing with since day one, and I haven't, no one has done anything about it. Finally, take care of yourself. It's easy to think, or many people think, that these things don't impact us, or these things roll off our backs because we've been yes, we have been dealing with them for so many years. We have had to deal with them for so long. However, the fact that we've dealt with them for that long does not necessarily mean that they are it does not make it any less impactful. We may have skills, we may have developed skills to deal with them, but they can still hurt. Maybe they're not an emotional hurt, but maybe a hurt to your ego. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself, that you're keeping yourself in a good place, because being in a good space, being in a good emotional and mental space allows you to be in that clear, level-headed space that you need to do, or you need to be, in order to deal with these people the way that you need to deal with them. Because if you're not right, if you've been allowing things to build up, it's easier for someone to say the wrong thing, and then next thing you know, you've had enough of this person disrespecting you, you've had enough of this person calling you a name other than your name, and then you just snap. When you take care of yourself, you reduce the likelihood that you are gonna snap. So make sure that you're doing those little self-care things, you're engaging in those life-affirming activities, and you're doing whatever it is that you need to do to make sure that you're good, so that when something happens, you're good and ready to deal with it. Okay, let's do a quick recap. 1, yes, that did happen. It's not just in your head. It happened. Everyone saw it, and you did too. 2, keep your cool. Those people who inflict microaggressions, they love to play the victim. So keep your cool so that you can address the thing directly, so that you can be effective in addressing the thing and the issue or the situation, and not allow them to start, flipping it on you, so that you now become the aggressor and they're the victim. 3, address the issue promptly, directly, and factually. Stick with whatever the facts are. Address it right then and there. Don't wait until the second, third, or until you're over it. Just address it the very first time it happens, so that you're not allowing a pattern to build. Talk to them directly. 4, document. A lot of times people will say, hey, that was just a one-time thing. No, it wasn't just a one-time thing. If you're documenting things, you're you're discussing or addressing things in emails and CCing the world because that's what they would do if they were trying to get you. So make sure that you're doing the same thing. And finally, take care of yourself because it doesn't matter how strong you think you are, how strong you actually are. Those things, they do hit. Maybe they hit your ego, maybe they hit you a little personally, but they do impact you. And of course, the other thing is when you're in a good place, when you're taking care of yourself, you're in a better place to address things directly. You're in a better place to address things with a level head as opposed to to risking snapping at someone because they finally got to you. As always, if you or someone you know happens to be going through something that's more than you can handle, please remember that there are professionals like myself who are available, able, and willing to help with whatever you may have going on. So please figure out who those people are in your community so that if you need the help, you can reach out and get the help that you need. And that is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.